When it comes to making frittatas, there's a few keys to success that you need to know about. First of all, we're going to cook these relatively slowly at 375. And the whole point of cooking them slowly is so that the outside and the inside cook at about the same time. Because if you cook them at too high a temperature, what happens is the outside overcooks while the inside is still kind of raw and it's weird. So what we're going to do is we're going to cook them at 375 for anywhere from 20 to 30 minutes. And that depends on your oven and it depends on the size of your muffin tin. But what we'll do is we're going to check them halfway through and see how they look. Another really important key when making your frittatas is you can blend the eggs and everything by hand, but we're going to use a blender because we want to make it super fast and super easy. You can do this in every blender, but there's a really important thing to keep in mind. And it's if you blend the holy hell out of your egg filling, what's going to happen is it's going to aerate those eggs, just as if you were like beating egg whites, right? Just because like you're whipping whole eggs doesn't mean that they don't hold air. So if you like put them in the blender and you're like for like ever, what's going to happen is when you bake your frittata, those things are going to be like and they're going to do a souffle thing, which is fine, actually. The problem is that the souffle tends to collapse a little bit after you pull them out of the oven, and some people don't like the way that looks. It's kind of unavoidable. Like, there's really no way around it. It's just sort of the reality of it. But the longer you blend them, the more you're going to pull them out, and they're going to be like domes, and it's going to be pretty crazy. And the final tip for making mini frittatas are what muffin tin you use. So we've got two muffin tins right here, and there's a big difference between them. And I'm going to see if you know what it is. What's the difference between these two muffin tins? One's lighter, one's darker, right? The big difference is this is a nonstick muffin tin, and this is like a regular stainless steel muffin tin. And I gotta tell you, God himself will not get eggs out of this pan. So if you're making frittatas, mini frittatas, or really anything egg-based in one of these guys without the nonstick coating, what you wanna do is you wanna use muffin cups or the little cupcake paper liners, because like you can butter this till the cows come home and nothing's gonna get those eggs out. This, on the other hand, this is a nonstick pan. It's got the nice Teflon coating. Like, I'm not a big fan of Teflon, but when it comes to eggs, it's an unfortunate reality. There's nothing we can do about it. With a Teflon pan like this one, put a little butter on the inside and those little suckers will pop out with no problem. One more thing I want to point out. So if you've got a big pan like this is 12. So the recipe we're making will make 6 to 8 frittatas, depending on how much meat or how much cheese and greens you use, because these are actually vegetarian frittatas. There's no meat in them. If you're cooking or baking in a big pan like this, everything around the outside of the pan is going to cook faster. Because if you're looking at an oven, like if this is the front of the oven and this is the back of the oven, this is going to be the hottest part of the oven. And this is going to be the coldest part of the oven, where the door is, because that's just where there's like a way for heat to escape. And plus, if you're opening the door, like by nature, it's just the coldest part of the oven. And then, you know, every oven has like hot spots, areas that are a little warmer. So what we want to do is we want to like turn this as they're cooking, like just to make sure that they're cooking evenly. But if you're cooking fewer muffins, or frittatas in this case, then you have like muffin wells, you want to cook them in the middle. So we've got 12 here. If we're cooking 6, we want to do these 6, right? Because these ones in the middle are going to have more even cooking than the ones that are on the outside. So if we're only cooking 6, we're going to capitalize on this internal area here that's more protected from the very front and the very back of the oven.